This gentleman, I think, puts it in terms where everyone can explain and speaks to the common sense of the issues that's in front of us. DrReese.com, DrReese.com. Dr. Reese Halter, distinguished conservation biologist and author, joins us here on the Ed Shultz Internet broadcast. Dr. Halter, good to have you with us.
Great. Thanks for calling up from Los Angeles.
You know, if you can't drink the water, you might get people's attention. If you can show them some video, if you can show them some videotape of holes in the earth, they might wake up to that too. This is all coming to a head, and it's getting worse, and it's getting more severe everywhere. The mystery of the giant gaping holes in Siberia that have spawned a lot of theories about their origins. It may have been solved. Dr. Halter, your take on all of this. What's happening?
Yeah, the latest we've got, Ed, is that the Russian scientists have now published in the top, there's two top science journals in the world, ours here in America, Science, and the British Nature. They've put a piece out in Nature that shows that these gases that are coming out of, the main gas that came out of that hole is methane. Methane is a very powerful heat-trapping gas. 72 times more powerful than carbon dioxide, for instance. As Earth unequivocally warms, and the Yamal Peninsula up in Siberia, where the main hole is, has experienced summers 9 degrees warmer, 2 summers in a row. The soils are thawing. As they thaw, they're releasing methane. But also, where this main hole was, there's a gas field, main gas field, some 18 miles away. We know that with the sweet gas, with the liquid gas, that there is methane. We know in some places there's very high concentrations of methane. What we believe has happened here is the Earth has belched a major amount of methane that was sitting locked up under ice, frozen on this peninsula, and it's in the air. And you know, the thing is, like, we've talked about this before. Thawing soil, you can't see it. You know, what? You got a hole? Okay, well, whatever. What we can see, Ed, unequivocally, are dying forests all over the world. And by the way, if that isn't enough to make your head spin, in North America alone, along a 3,500-mile trench, the Rocky Mountains, we're missing 30 billion mature trees. They're dead in the last 15 years. They cannot tolerate this very quick warming. But let's say that doesn't convince you. 3 out of every 4 breaths of air come from the ocean. I don't care where you live on the globe. Our oceans provide us with, selfishly or not, with our air. We're missing 40% of the phytoplankton that provides us with air. And we have a big problem, Ed, amongst everything else. In and around 2023, in about 9 years, there's about another 900 million people. That would make us 8 billion strong. That's a hell of a lot of oxygen that we've got to provide, and we're missing it, Ed.
This is amazing. It is absolutely amazing what's unfolding right in front of our eyes in our time. This isn't coming from a history book, folks. This isn't reading into the future. This is happening right now. And now that the Russian scientists, who, professionally speaking, can we say have been a little bit stubborn over the years? Would that be a good characterization?
They've been stubborn and their hands have been tied. You know, let's face it.
Yeah, the Russian scientists, and now they have published in the British Nature exactly what they think is going on here. This is man-made occurrence, is it not?
It is, and you know, here's the thing. Let's get back to 101. People, human beings, we solve problems and we make tools, Ed. This is not, so, you know, all throughout history, all we've ever had to do is contend with the environment. It was, since day one, 7 million years ago, and when we got kicked out of Africa and the trees a couple million years ago. My point is this. if we went back just 40 years ago, when Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak were sitting at a table, and the first generation of Macintosh was there, and everybody said no, and they were prevented. Innovation was stopped dead in its tracks 40 years ago. Where would we be today? Well, we wouldn't be here. And my point is, let my colleagues, let the entrepreneurs, let the engineers at it. We will come up with alternative energy sources. And I'll tell you what, Ed, we know the International Monetary Fund released a conservative number, $1.9 trillion. The oil, gas, and coal are being subsidized annually globally. If nothing else, take that away. And I'll tell you what, the market will sort itself out real quickly, and all of these alternative energy sources, some we we're unaware of, haven't come to the table because we're continuing to pollute Earth, and the consequences are dire now.
Yeah, no doubt. Back to the sinkholes, back to these craters. Are we going to see more of these? I mean, are we going to see an intensified release of methane into the atmosphere?
Quite likely. I mean, the real concern, Ed, is the soils, the soil, the ring of soils in the Arctic. We believe are holding a vast number. I mean, I'll throw it out there. It's approximately 130 gigatons of methane. To put that in terms of what we've burned, that's equivalent to everything, all carbon fuels that we've burned since the Industrial Revolution, since the mid-1700s. If that is all released, clearly that will jack the temperatures up well beyond what we can handle. But that's only one problem. The bigger problem is there are vast amounts of methane, known methane, underneath the Arctic Ocean seafloor that are being currently held in place by the vast chunks of ice that are providing the pressure to keep that suppressed. The real concern is in the ensuing years when that ice melts, that pressure is released, and there's a high probability that Earth will really burp methane, and when that happens, OMG.
Yeah. Dr. Reese Halter, distinguished conservation biologist and author. You can follow him on his website at Dr. Reese, R-E-E-S-E, drreese.com. Doctor, good to have you with us. We will continue to stay connected. I appreciate your time here today. Thanks so much.